Next, I'll show some CTEs being used on an actual database table. To do this, I'll query the Microsoft sample database, Northwind. First though, let's take a look at the table. This query selects some columns from the employees table. Not all of them, but enough for what we need. Each row shows the employee's ID, their details, and under reports to, the ID of their manager. Nancy, for example, reports to Dr. Fuller. Dr. Fuller reports to no one, as he's the head of the company. Michael reports to Stephen, who reports to Dr. Fuller. In fact, this table stores the entire management hierarchy of the organisation. To fully navigate this hierarchy, we need to query it recursively. This is a recursive CTE. I've called it chain of command. The CTE will get the chain of command from an employee to their manager, to the manager's manager, and so on. It won't show the entire hierarchy. It will just show the management chain of command from one employee to the head of the company. For the base query, we're going to select the employee ID and their manager's ID from the table for employee number 9. After the union all, we have the recursive part of the query. We select the employee ID and the manager ID again from the employees table. But this time, we're going to join the employees table to the latest results in chain of command. And we're only going to select the employee whose ID matches the reports to field from the previous query. The first time around, that's the base case. So we get the employee's manager. The next time it runs, it joins to the result from the first time and gets the manager's manager. When it comes to someone who doesn't have a manager, it returns no results and the recursion ends. We don't need a where clause to end the recursion here, because the join has its own filter in the on clause. Finally, we select everything from chain of command. We can see that employee number 9 reports to number 5, who reports to number 2, who reports to no one. This is how a recursive CTE returns the chain of command. Suppose we want those rows to keep track of the ID we started from. We can use the technique of passing values through. To do this, we put the employee ID into the base case. Then, we make the recursive query copy it each time. Here's the result. Using this CTE, we can get the IDs of an employee and their company head inside the same single row result. We simply filter the CTE result for the company head by using reports to is null. Now it might seem like this is obvious and that we don't need a query to do this because there is only one head of the company. Why not just hardcode it? In this case you could, as the table only contains one hierarchy. But that won't always be the case. Suppose, for example, that the table had multiple companies' employees stored within it. For example, a HR company providing software as a service could store employee data for hundreds of clients. It might need a query to identify the head of the company for any particular employee. Or suppose you wanted a list of all employees and all of their heads of company for all of those clients. In that situation, you could reuse this query. You would simply get rid of the employee ID filter for the starting employee. Then you could run the query to return every single employee and their company head. The original column headers aren't really suitable for the results that we're generating, so I'm going to rename them using aliases.